Jones, Catherine Runala, and Charity Cook. Date Thursday 31st August to Saturday 2nd September 2023. Time 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Venue Crispin Hotel Event Center, Rayfield, Jos Plateau State. Also, you can stream online at www.lapislm.org. Viewing centers are available in Lagos, Abuja, Kaduna, and other cities around you. Register now at www.lapislm.org. For inquiries, call +234 703 437 1401. Come and experience God's unfailing love.
Children are gifts and the source of, but when they are down with sickness such as malaria, we become sad and worried. Not to worry, Camosunate anti-malarial for children has always been there for years.
And you will bounce back to life.
Camosunate also comes in tablets for adults. Bounce back from malaria with Camosunate. Read the leaflet inside. If symptoms persist after 3 days, please consult your doctor. Camosunate, effective anti-malaria for all ages. Marketed by Genix Pharmaceuticals Limited.
Stay connected to the world with Channels TV Podcast and get all the trending stories. Simply log on to channelstv.com. Click on podcast, select the program of your choice, and listen. Our podcast is available on Apple, Google, and Spotify. Tap the expertise you trust. Touch the stories that touch you. Anytime, anywhere.
When you think of Nigeria, do you think of its potential? Then you might be who we're looking for. We want people in the business of doing good. People with startups or proofs of concept that directly or indirectly take on one or more of Nigeria's social issues. If you want to win a 30 million naira grant, expert mentorship, and access to an exclusive network of business leaders, apply now to be a contestant on our exciting new social enterprise competition show, Fund It Forward. Go to www.funditforward.tv for more details on the show and on how to apply. Fund It Forward, a Channels original series.
From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the News at 10. Live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight, Kayode Okikiolu.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, the Inspector General of Police ramps up efforts in tackling crime in the country, inaugurates the Complaints Response Unit in Lagos for transparency and accountability. Nigerian Army showcases locally manufactured equipment at Combat Service Support Training Week. Chief of Army Staff says military must look inwards in meeting with its defense needs. Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, directs completion of the Abuja Light Rail project within 8 months as he inspects train stations in the nation's capital. And head of Russian private military outfit Wagner Group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, feared dead following a plane crash near Moscow.
On business news tonight, Nigerian exchange proposes dollar securities trading for companies amid forex crunch in the country.
On sports news tonight, world record holder Toby Abuja wins H2 of the women's 100 meters hurdles semi-final with a time of 12.56 seconds to qualify for her third consecutive World Championships final.
From Abuja, the nation's capital, tribunal reserves judgment in the petition by the PDP and Labour Party candidates against the election of former Ebonyi State Governor Dave Umahi as winner of the Ebonyi South senatorial seat.
We begin begin with security. Policing in the country may take a different shape in the coming days, with the new strategies being unveiled by the Acting Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kaleidoscope. The latest is the launch of the Complaints Response Unit, CRU, in Lagos, targeted at enhancing collaboration between police and members of the public in building transparency and accountability. At the inauguration today, the police chief gave assurances that the facility will be manned by competent officers whose integrity will not be in doubt.
It's the maiden duty tour of the Lagos Command by the Acting Inspector General of Police, Kaleidoscope. The visit also attracts other senior police officers in other commands, senior members of the bar, civil society organizations, and security actors. Top on the agenda of the August visitor is the launch of his baby project, the Complaints Response Unit, and Lagos is setting the pace for other police formation across the country.
The Complaint Response Unit is being established not to witch hunt police officers, but to promote accountability in the police. It is going to enhance police community collaboration and build confidence in the members of the public. We are always appealing to members of the public to cooperate with us, to give us information. We also have to show transparency to be able to get that cooperation from them. The new policing vision is about emplacing a professionally competent, service-driven, rule of law compliant, and people-friendly police force.
The Commissioner of Police, Lagos Command, highlights the role of the unit in combating crimes in the state.
Lagos State Police Command has taken the lead to establish the State Complaints Response Unit as a framework for promoting police citizens' accountability and as a center for the receipt of complaints on police officers' service inadequacies from the public. The center will coordinate immediate response, facilitate the investigations and disciplinary processes where necessary, and render feedbacks to the citizens.
This is followed by goodwill messages.
The platform will enable police management receive complaints directly from members of the public on erring police officers and take timely action. Recalling, investigating, and disciplining any officer found wanting, as well as providing feedback to members of the public on the internal measures taken to address their complaints and grievances, which will in no small measure promote accountability and transparency.
The acting police chief completes his tour of Lagos Command with the commissioning of the newly built state-of-the-art hospital in Oduduwa, Ikeja, Lagos.
Meanwhile, the launch of the unit provided an opportunity for human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Mr. Femi Falana, to ask the officers to familiarize themselves with the Police Act 2020, which, among other things, prescribes a 25-year jail term for any act of torture. The senior advocate also noted that chief magistrates are now more empowered through the act to visit police divisions across the country.
I want to warn all police officers to take cognizance of the Police Establishment Act 2020. Torture has become a serious offense. It now attracts 25 years imprisonment. Oh yes, if the suspect dies, whoever is involved will be charged with murder. As they say here, that will not be your portion. Detention. Every month, and we're starting this soon, a chief magistrate will visit every police station in Nigeria. During the visit, the magistrate can grant bail, order the arraignment of a suspect, or ask the suspect to go home completely. However, The magistrate is also empowered to report any police officer who has breached the rights of the suspect. As a matter of fact, I was just telling the IG, Section 60 of the Police Act, Establishment Act now says, every police station shall have a lawyer assigned to it to monitor human rights compliance.
Well, staying with security, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tauri Lagbaja, says the military must look inwards in the area of research and development in its bid to achieve self-sufficiency in meeting its defense needs. This is part of his message delivered at this year's Combat Service Support Training Week, hosted by the Nigerian Army Ordnance Corps in Lagos. The event also provides opportunity for local manufacturers of defense-related items to showcase their projects. Our correspondent Chris Elems reports.
Drones, bulletproof vests, armored vehicles and other military hardwares are on display at the Nigerian Army Ordnance Corps, Abati Barracks, Lagos. They are all locally manufactured and are being showcased here as part of our activities to celebrate the annual Combat Service Support Training Week of the Nigerian Army.
This vehicle is also equipped to stop AK-47 rifle. It has an automatic weapons station at the top.
Leading the inspection team is the Commander, Nigerian Army Corps of Engineers, Major General Ramosele, who is representing the Chief of Army Staff.
These efforts will no doubt reduce usage of foreign exchange, since they are locally produced, has a ripple effect on our local economy, and it will enhance our operational capability, since these items are at our beck and call. So we partner with them so that we can, this thing hitherto imported into the country can be locally produced within the country.
This year's Combat Service Support Training Week is providing a platform to foster collaboration and promotion of indigenous defense manufacturing, as well as create avenue for appraisal of the performance of the Corps.
The Chief of Army Staff has continued to encourage Combat Service Support Corps in the areas of research and development towards the Nigerian Army's bid to achieve self-sufficiency in defense needs.
In his goodwill message, the Lagos State Governor, represented by the Deputy Chief of Staff, acknowledges the challenges faced by the military and therefore views this as very timely.
The Army must continue to train aggressively in order to proficiently execute their own line of operations towards achieving the ultimate goal of a secure and peaceful Nigeria.
While the theme of the week is a sustainable logistics support system for the Nigerian Army towards achieving constitutional responsibilities within a joint environment, the call for self-sufficiency, however, aligns with the nation's determination to build capacity that would make her a regional hub for defense. Chris Elems, Channels Television News.
And much later after that, the Chief of Army Staff hosted the United Kingdom's Minister of Armed Forces and Veterans, James Heapy, who gave the British government's commitment to supporting Nigeria's military ambitions. This, he says, is part of efforts to build on old friendships and explore new avenues of growth between the armies of both countries. He was speaking at the Army headquarters in Abuja.
It's been very clear to me that this is a part of the world in which the UK has many great friends, and where the UK's interests are shared by those friends. Nowhere is that more obvious than here in Nigeria, where the relationship between our armed forces, and particularly our armies, is incredibly close. The customs and traditions of the Nigerian army are almost identical to many of the customs traditions of the British Army. Many Nigerian officers have trained or come to study with distinction in the UK, and over the last, over many years, but particularly the last decade or so, the BMAT and Optaurus have been a fantastic vehicle through which to strengthen those ties. And so I come with a new government in Nigeria and new chiefs appointed to introduce myself, to establish new friendships, and to build on what has gone before. To invite you to be honest and candid with us about the things that we've been doing that perhaps you no longer care for, and the things that we haven't been doing, and that you would like us to do anew. Because I think it's important to us that we don't, that what we're doing is the stuff that meets your ambition for your army, General, whilst it is under your command.
In Enugu State, Governor Peter Mba appears to be matching words with action as he launches the pilot scheme of the state government's Distress Response Squad with the unveiling of patrol vehicles. This, he says, is a testament of his administration's commitment to tackling insecurity and growing the state's economy. Governor Mba made this remark when he received the new Commissioner of Police in the state, Kanayo Uzogbu, at the Government House in Enugu.
In order for us to deal with the non-kinetic approach to these fragilities, we need peace and security, because you cannot have sustainable development without peace and security. So if we must address the unemployment, if we must address and eradicate poverty, we must enable a peaceful and a secure environment for these businesses to flow and for the investments to come. So security is critical. It's critical to everything, which is why if you look at our manifesto, it's the first item in our strategic program, peace and security. That we must guarantee, that we must ensure that exists. So we are indeed delighted and you have come with a similar mission.
In part two, after the break, the leadership of the National Assembly promises to ensure gender equity in its legislative activities. But that's in a moment. Stay with us.
This is Premium Pension. How can we help?
Our experts work behind the scenes, enabling our members grow wealth to secure a premium tomorrow. We see your hard work and we make your money work hard for you. We are growing with you in commitment and service. Leveraging technology to meet your demands. Secure your future and pave way for the next generation. Embracing diversity with firm roots across the 36 states of Nigeria and the FCT. Premium Pension. Active today, premium tomorrow.
Take it from me, the mind-blowing way to do things is the Glow LTE advanced way. When you stream, it's like you're in the drama itself. When you make calls, you reach where others can't. Cookie! Doing business is like running Wall Street from your street. And when you play,
I can beat the guy. We'll see about that.
It's like traveling the world without moving an inch.
Is that Toby in your room?
You can download in the blink of an eye in 4K.
Go.
And when you go for your dreams, it's like running with the strength of 3 nations behind you.
Glow LTE Advanced, the power of 3 data networks in one. Get a Glow SIM or dial *301#.
powder with astamine, a blend of amino acids and multivitamins.
Does your toothpaste give you complete fresh protection? New Close-Up Toothpaste Complete Fresh Protection takes care of your 5 important oral care needs. It gives you strong teeth, prevents tooth holes, cleans deeply, fights bacteria, and gives you fresh breath. Complete fresh protection from Close-Up.
That's right. You too could be one of the 20 Zenith Bank customers that will win 150,000 every 2 weeks from June 1st, 2023 until May 31st, 2024 in the Zenith Better Life Promo 3. To qualify, simply open a Zenith Bank account. For more information, visit www.zenithbank.com/betterlife. Live the better life with Zenith Bank.
It all began with 2G. People could call, send text, and connect with loved ones in an instant. Then, like magic, 3G appeared. Suddenly the world was at your fingertips. You could surf the net, share videos, and download your favorite songs. It was a revolution. Then came 4G, where the limits on our imagination began to fade away. Just when we thought things couldn't get any more amazing. 5G emerged from the depths of innovation. Imagine downloading an entire season of your favorite TV show before you even finish popping your popcorn. The story of mobile evolution continues because now we have a reason to imagine with Airtel 5G.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
What does it take to be an original? I'll tell you. It's not just walking the path of others, but understanding, innovating, and carving your own path, knowing who you are, creating your own world, and not being afraid to own it, being true to where you're from and doing things your way. Trophy, extra special stout, no DNA needed, originally black.
Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste. We pick fine quality tea leaves from selected tea gardens around the world to give you Lipton Yellow Label's flavorful and balanced taste in every sip.
Welcome back. Well, if you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, coming to you live from Channels Television. A reminder of our top stories. The Inspector General of Police ramps up efforts in tackling crime in the country, inaugurates the Complaints Response Unit in Lagos for transparency and accountability. Nigerian Army showcases locally manufactured equipment at Combat Service Support Training Week. Chief of Army Staff says military must look inwards in meeting its defense needs. Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, directs completion of the Abuja Light Rail project within 8 months as he inspects train stations in the nation's capital. And head of Russian private military outfit Wagner Group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, feared dead following a plane crash near Moscow. The leadership of the National Assembly has made a commitment to ensure the passing of gender equity legislation in Nigeria. President of the Senate and the representative of the Speaker of the House of Representatives made this promise at the International Conference on Women in Governance in Abuja.
The conversation around women involvement in government has been ongoing for a while in different fora. However, the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, NILS, has convened this international conference in Abuja to address the challenges which have caused the declining rate of women in government in Nigeria. To set the tone for the conference, the Director General, NILS, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, highlights the low number of women in governance. According to him, the percentage of women representation in governance has not exceeded 10%.
The declining trend has continued despite the provisions of the National Gender Policy that 30% of elective and appointed positions be reserved for women. Numerous other official documents and statements of government and political parties set normative and policy framework for achieving gender inclusivity and equality.
The Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Onyejocha, as well as the wife of the former governor of Ekiti State, Mrs. Bisi Fayemi, pointed out what they see as the challenges to women representation and appeal to the leadership of the National Assembly to revisit the gender bills that failed to pass in the 9th Assembly.
I believe that before first half of this present 10th Assembly, that will have legislation on how to increase the number of women in parliament and in governance.
In order to address the current predicament we are in, we need to be prepared to look at the root causes of where we are and not focus on the symptoms. Having 3.5% of women in the National Assembly is a symptom.
The issue of gender disparity in Nigeria has been a recurring topic. According to the Gender Development Index, Nigeria's gender statistics as of 2019 stood at 0.88%, indicating underrepresentation of women in Nigeria. The leadership of the National Assembly is not happy about this statistic and commits to promoting gender equity in Nigeria.
Let me assure Nigerians, and particularly women,
We apologize for the loss of audio in that report. We'll bring it to you subsequently. Well, let's talk infrastructure now. If you're one of those who have looked forward to using the Abuja light rail for commuting in the nation's capital, then you may no longer have to wait for too long. That's because the Minister of FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has directed the completion of rail rehabilitation within 8 months. The minister who inspected the Abuja metro stations frowned at the dysfunctional state of the light rail, adding that restoring it will ease transport difficulty. Our correspondent Gloria Mezoke reports.
Less than 48 hours after the newly sworn-in Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, vowed to restore the Abuja master plan, he embarked on his first assignment outside the confines of his office, heading straight to inspect the Abuja light rail system. At the main terminal of the metro station, Mr. Wike, who is flanked by his Minister of State and other officials, addresses the contractors, questioning the quality of work.
The first thing, as I came in, I told you talk about vandalization. Why would the place not be vandalized? I was just asking you. You are doing fencing. The fencing is not completed. So it is easy for people to come in from there. And these are the things I spotted as I came in. I worked with her. How can you allow this perimeter fencing not to be completed? If it was completed, how would people come in to vandalize? And I've also told CCB, you should give us the best quality we want.
Proceeding on the tour, the minister took the train ride from the metro station through the Idu station and then to the airport station. The rails, originally developed in 6 phases, were funded with loans from the China Exim Bank. After the vandalization, the FCT administration awarded in May 2023 a fresh 5 billion naira contract to rehabilitate damaged portions of the rail line within 12 months. The Abuja Light Rail, commissioned at the metro station, opened for business in 2018 and operated for about 2 years before the service folded up.
The money for the rehabilitation is there. As we go back, I've already directed the permanent secretary to make sure that the contractor is paid, and then we'll be discussing on the issue of operational costs. We'll begin to see how in the next few months that we'll invite Mr. President to see that this place is commissioned for the public to use.
Mr. Wike, who is the first Southerner to become Minister of the FCT in 47 years, hopes to present a rehabilitated rail system to the President for commissioning by April 2024. From Abuja, Gloria Umezuke, Channels Television News.
Well, Gloria is not done just yet. After that test train ride, she brings us more stories on the news at 10 from our Abuja studio. Good evening, Gloria.
Indeed, thank you. Many thanks, Kayode. We turn attention to the judiciary, where Ebonyi State National and State Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja has reserved judgment in the petition filed by the candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Mr. Michael Nnachi, and the Labour Party candidate, Mr. Linus Okorie. The petitioners are asking the tribunal to nullify the election of former governor of the state, Mr. Dave Umahi, who is now a minister, on the grounds that he did not score the majority of valid votes cast in that election.
It is the final stage before judgment will be given at the Ebonyi State National and State Election Petition Tribunal as parties adopt their written addresses. Candidates of the People's Democratic Party, Michael Nnachi, and that of the Labour Party, Linus Okorie, are challenging the declaration of Senator Dave Umahi, who was the candidate of the APC, as winner of that election. The petitioners are challenging the declaration of the former governor as the winner of the Ebonyi South senatorial election on the following grounds. 1, that the APC candidate did not secure the majority of valid votes. 2, that there was overvoting in some polling units. 3, that the number of collected PVCs in areas where elections were cancelled outnumbers the margin of win in the results declared by INEC.
Senator David Umahi, now a minister, is not in the first place qualified to contest that election because he did not go through all the processes, all the electionary processes. The second ground was that there are non-compliance with the Electoral Act.
Now, the point we're making is that if you look at the margin of the lead between the person who purportedly won that election and the first runner-up, you find out that the margin of the lead is just about 2,800 votes, 2,800 something votes. But the number of registered voters and persons who collected their PVCs in the various polling units where elections did not take place or were cancelled is more than 30,000. So the election was clearly inconclusive, and clearly INEC admitted it tendered documents to show that the election was inconclusive.
However, counsel to the former governor disagrees.
When you place their petitions side by side with decided authorities on the point, Supreme Court authorities, Court of Appeal authorities, they came here with no case. Before now, they were making noise on the social media. But the moment we went into summation of the evidence, applying the law to the evidence, they found that they have nothing.
Having adopted their written addresses, all the parties and their supporters can do now is wait for the tribunal to deliver its judgment.
Meanwhile, the arraignment of the suspended governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria has again been stalled as the matter was not listed on the cause list of the FCT High Court. No reason was given for the long non-listing of the matter, as lawyers to both parties were absent in court. The suspended CBN governor was charged alongside Mrs. Saadatu Yaro, an employee of the Apex Bank, and her company, April 1616 Investment Limited, on 20 counts bordering on procurement fraud, conspiracy, and conferring corrupt advantages. An Abuja High Court, presided over by Justice Hamza Muazu, had fixed today, August the 23rd, for the arraignment of Mr. Emefiele and his co-accused. Well, still ahead on the news at 10, the Nigerian exchange proposes dollar securities trading for companies amid forex crunch in the country. Well, that's in business news. Do join us again.
Everything is fast-paced. How do you remain unstoppable?
Babe, I need some money for groceries. Dad, the cable TV subscription has expired.
What if I told you the key to being unstoppable is now at your fingertips?
Uncle, wait. Uncle, have you forgotten I'm going back to school today? Thank you.
plumber money.
Okay, we need to buy fuel. Don't let petty transactions limit you. Download the First Money Wallet app or dial *894*1# on any mobile phone and live unstoppable.
Enjoy the unlimited life with First Money Wallet. Dial *894*1# on any mobile phone to activate now. You first. First Bank.
Looking fresh for your days? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Protected and fresh. Protected and fresh.
Let's take a picture.
Protected and fresh.
Still fresh, still protected.
Feeling cool and protected.
All day confidence to get close.
Oh yeah, take me closer, close.
New Close Up Triple Fresh formula.
The Duchess International Hospital opened its doors in October 2021. The mission of the hospital is to reverse medical tourism. We take particular care here at the Duchess to bring together a combination of the brightest and the best locally, as well as Nigerians in the diaspora who are interested in returning to do very good work for the benefit of our patients here in this country.
The good thing is that we have all international expertise here, all international facilities here, international people working here. Everything is coming together in a space which was considered not great in terms of the availability of healthcare.
Access Bank, of course, has been able to provide us with a robust range of products and services that has enabled us to deliver that standard and quality of healthcare that is integral to our mission as an organization.
What comes to mind when you hear the good life?
Omo, getting free fuel now, that's the good life. If person fit dash me free house rent, that's the good life for me.
My own? Not just to the shop they go.
Worry not. You can now enjoy the good life with Verve in the Verve Good Life promo. 1 year rent up for grabs, free fuel, free 1 year school fees, free 6 months electricity payment, and a whopping 200,000 naira shopping spree. Simply do at least 2 additional transactions weekly with your Verve card to stand a chance to win. Promo runs from August 3rd to January 31st, 2024. Terms and conditions apply. Ask your bank for your Verve card today. Verve. Enjoy the good life.
Discover Lipton's flavorful and balanced taste. We pick fine quality tea leaves from selected tea gardens around the world to give you Lipton Yellow Label's flavorful and balanced taste in every sip.
My life is a whole lot easier now, even when I'm working from home. I still get everything done. Workout track. And faster too. Guys, I'll make my decision and get back to you. I take my meetings uninterrupted. Video call Catherine.
Calling Catherine.
Check in with Bay. No cracks. Oh, go, go, go. Behind you, behind you. And when it's time to bond with my friends across the globe, I connect seamlessly, all thanks to my Airtel router.
Delivery is here.
Thank you. Be like me. Stay connected always with the Airtel home broadband.
Who are you talking to?
It's nothing.
You're talking to me?
No.
Airtel, a reason to imagine.
To give the confidence that only comes from knowing you are fully sorted. To show up for you just when you need a hand. And when retirement comes with all its worries and storms, to ensure we will stand by you and give you the coverage that you deserve. Make the perfect choice. Choose PAL Pensions today.
PAL Pensions, your pal for life.
Welcome back. You're still watching the news at 10, coming to you live on Channels Television. Now, much of the negative perception about Nigeria derive from information heard by foreigners about how Nigerians conduct themselves in and outside the country. Now, this is according to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mr. Mohammed Idris, who is pledging to prioritize value reorientation in the country, especially among youths. He stated this while playing host to national officers of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR, in Abuja.
We will try as much as possible to be very truthful to Nigerians, to be transparent in our dealings, and to be accountable, because that is the message that I got from Mr. President when he sent me here. I will repeat again that this ministry will be a renewed ministry, a very transparent ministry that will manage the affairs of information and national orientation for this country. And I've also received this briefing from Mr. President that we should put national reorientation at the core of our affairs. It's not just about disseminating information, but all of you will agree with me that Nigeria requires so much of reorientation to reset our nation so that together we will all build the country that we all desire. Mr. President has said it severally since he assumed office, that Nigeria is our country, and there is no north, there is no south, but there is Nigeria. All of us, those in this industry and those in other sectors, have to join hands together for the benefit of our people.
Well, that's it from the nation's capital. It's back to you, Coyote.
Well, thanks, Gloria. But to some company news now. Worthy partners. That's how Lafarge, one of the leading cement manufacturing companies in Africa, sees its customers. And in recognition of this, the management of the company has rewarded outstanding customers for their contribution to the success of the business in 2022. The Chief Executive Officer of Lafarge Africa, Lulu Alade Akinyemi, who was speaking at the event in Lagos, reaffirmed the company's commitment to providing value-added products and services in building and construction industry in Nigeria.
From all parts of the country, trade partners of Lafarge Africa converge on Lagos Continental Hotel as the 2023 edition of its annual awards comes alive. Music and stage performances make it an evening of entertainment and celebration for those who added value to the Lafarge brand in 2022. Appreciating its partners, the Chief Executive Officer of Lafarge Africa reaffirms the company's commitment to continue to accelerate its customers for growth.
You have all been invaluable partners to us, and thank you for the level of your commitment and your dedication. In alignment with our corporate vision of accelerating green growth, we are committed to reducing our carbon footprint at scale, taking actions across the building life cycle through investment and innovation in more sustainable solutions within our manufacturing process.
And so the awards roll in. Distributors across 4 regions, the North, Lagos, West and the East, are recognized and awarded in various categories covering volume of sales of the company's products, distribution network, consistency and innovation, among others. Cinco West Africa Limited gets the award for the national highest volume contributor.
It takes hard work to be here, and Lafarge has been a wonderful company to us. And all we need to do is to support Lafarge and make sure we do the best to make them `1 cement company in Nigeria.
Lafarge Africa Commercial Director speaks more about the company's sustainability plan.
We launched UNICEF eco-label product from the Calabar plant, and we're going to be doing more of this across all of our plants and across all of our products to make sure our products are more eco-friendly and continue to support our sustainability agenda.
Lafarge, a leading building materials company, has over 700 distributors nationwide, ensuring that end users find its products available at all times.
Financial technology company Transfer, which provides solutions across remittance, digital banking and payments infrastructure, has expanded its reach to over 100 countries. They include the UK, US and more than 27 EU countries, as well as Canada, Nigeria, Ghana and Kenya. With its latest innovative product, the Freedom Bank account, subscribers in Nigeria can now send and receive instant bank payments at discounted fees on international transactions.
UK-based financial technology company Transfer, operators of the Freedom Bank account, is touring Africa, where many of its operations are based. Just a few days ago, the Transfer team was in Accra, Ghana, to meet with customers and subscribers. Its latest stop is Lagos, Nigeria's commercial center, as it embarks on a mission to make international money transfer simple and fast.
We started with Nigeria, Ghana and Kenya, and we're pleased to announce we're available now in over 100 countries.
The Chief Financial Officer, Dr. Olusiji Sonya, alongside the CEO, Ryan Romeo, remind existing customers about the benefits of opening a Freedom Bank account while promoting same to those yet to join the Freedom Party.
There'll be a fixed fee per transaction in and out of 50 pence, which is relatively negligible relative to what's available currently in the market. Virtual card, which she just mentioned, for people to be able to make purchases online to international merchants. There will also be an introduction of physical cards as well.
We're opening a business access point, i.e. allowing businesses, enterprises to have a Freedom Bank account that is suitable for companies, also subscription-based. But then we know that when a business has a GBP account, they might basically want to do transactions in different currencies. So we also give them an FX conversion capability.
They insist that the Freedom Bank account by Transfer holds significant potential to empower businesses and investors alike.
We've basically opened up the enterprise side of this product. So transfer as a service, banking as a service, remittance as a service.
All deposits are present in the account at all times. There's no sort of intermediary use. Your deposits are not taken or reinvested, for instance. They are kept present. Obviously, I mentioned the insurance scheme, which covers your deposits up to 80 to 85,000 pounds. We have various sorts of card frequency testing, for example, to ensure that the actual system is secure and cannot be tampered with going forward.
Transfer says it remains committed to connecting every part of the world through seamless payments and banking services using innovative, disruptive and revolutionary financial technology.
And for more business stories on the news at 10, here's Anne Owawado.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial *894# now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Thank you, Kayode. Hello and welcome to Business News. The Nigerian Exchange Limited, the NGX, is proposing dollar trading on its platform as part of a bigger move to ease the pain of the forex crunch and provide companies access to dollars. According to the CEO of the NGX Limited, Mr. Temi Popola, the drive will focus on companies earning foreign exchange and those situated within the free trade zones. Mr. Popola says the companies will be allowed to offer USD-denominated bonds and equities on the NGX, as well as pay dividend in dollars. He also adds that NGX is working with the Securities and Exchange Commission to amend the exchange's regulation to achieve this in the near term. Meanwhile, the Securities and Exchange Commission wants the inclusion of the capital market in the current administration's drive to sell stake in some state-owned firms in Nigeria. According to the Commission's chief economist, Dr. Okeo Meano, who was a guest on Business Morning today, making this happen will form a major part of conversations at the 2023 second capital market meeting, which begins on Thursday, August the 24th.
Our budget cannot fund our infrastructure gap, cannot bridge our infrastructure gap, and we believe that the capital market is well positioned to do this. We are positioning the market to be able to provide the much needed infrastructure we need for our government, for our country to move forward. You know, really, for our economy to develop, there are some basic infrastructure we need on ground. We need to work. And the capital market is positioned to do that. So this meeting would be discussing how we can present the capital market as one of the areas, or if not the most viable area through which government can achieve its objectives. Secondly, we are hoping that the capital market will be used, as we discuss the sale of national assets like the NMPC and all that, we are hoping that the capital market will be used because we believe that disposal of these assets through the capital market, it helps everyone.
Let's head to the equities market now. We continue the positive move today, and investors' interest in Dangote Sugar and Transcorp came higher. Will Libong has the details.
Welcome to the Stock Market Report. It's the third trading session this week, and the bull almost didn't make it to the finish line. The oil share index eked out a 0.01% gain today, almost on the flat line. A really, really close shave for the market. And this is no thanks to banking stocks and also corn oil, which lost 10% today. But thankfully, the 6.9% uptick in Dangote Sugar was enough to offset the loss and swing the market into positive territory. Let's look at the outliers for the sectors today. Now, despite the losses we saw in Nigerian breweries and PZ Cussons, the consumer goods index closed in the green, up 0.4%. And many thanks to Dangote Sugar. Now, Dangote Sugar's current share price is sitting at 14 naira. Insurance counter was propped up today by Lasaco and Coronation Insurance, while oil and gas bleeding from losses in Eterna. Yes, of course, there's profit taking. The market is neither here nor there. And like I said yesterday, earnings reports from key banking stocks are very much awaited to give the market a strong boost. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Will Ibong. It's back to you, Anne.
Thank you, Will. Let's take a look at closing numbers for other major markets around the world. And that's Business News Tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. Kayode will be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Banking so easy, so simple. Dial star 894 hash now to experience it. You first, First Bank.
Well, thank you, Anne. Leader of Russian paramilitary Wagner Group, Yevgeny Prigozhin, is feared dead, having been listed among passengers on board a private jet traveling from Moscow to St. Petersburg, which crashed today in Russia's Tver region. The Russian Emergencies Ministry said all 10 people on board had died. Rosaviation has since said that Yevgeny Prigozhin was listed among the passengers. And local media is reporting that the plane was an Embraer Legacy 600 with tail number RA02795, believed to belong to Prigozhin. Here's Simon Pusa with more international news and around the world in 5.
Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. India's Chandrayaan-3 has become the first space mission to land near the south pole of the moon. There were scenes of jubilation in the control room in Bengaluru as Vikram touched down.
Applauding ISRO, Sri S. Somnath.
India is now on the moon, announced Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Inside is a 6-wheeled Pragyan rover, which, if all goes to plan, will roam the lunar surface, gathering images and data. Scientists believe craters that are permanently in shadow on the dark side of the moon may hold frozen water. The attempt, India's third lunar mission, comes days after Russia's unmanned Luna 25 spacecraft span out of control and crashed into the moon.
Our moon mission is also based on the same human-centric approach. Therefore, this success belongs to all of humanity.
China's President Xi Jinping has called for the acceleration of the expansion of BRICS Group.
让更多国家加入到金砖大家庭。
BRICS leaders have been weighing rules for admitting new members to the bloc of developing countries, even as splits over its future direction risked undermining its ambition to give the so-called Global South more clout in world affairs.
Будем способствовать дальнейшей комплексной реализации.
Addressing the summit in Johannesburg by video, Mr. Putin said he opposed the sway exerted by the G7 and other Western-led groups. He is unable to attend in person because he faces an international arrest warrant over the war in Ukraine. Countries including Iran, Ethiopia and Algeria have all expressed interest in joining. However, Brazil has cautioned against making the grouping an alternative to the G7. Police in Pakistan have arrested the owner of a cable car that left 8 people stranded and dangling over a ravine when it malfunctioned. The incident in Pakhtunkhwa sparked a massive rescue operation lasting more than 12 hours. Officers detained a man called Gul Zareen on multiple charges, including endangering valuable lives and negligence. A military helicopter rescued one trapped child, while zipline experts recovered the rest of the group after dark. Fires that have claimed 20 lives in Greece are still burning out of control in foothills near Athens and the Evros region near the border with Turkey. 18 of those killed are thought to be refugees and migrants who crossed the border recently, hiding in forests north of the city of Alexandroupolis. Greece has expressed its deepest sorrow for the deaths in the Dadia forest close to the Turkish border. For 5 days, fires have burned near the city and west along the coast. Firefighters are also trying to stop a fire spreading from the slopes of Mount Parnitha to the northwest of Athens. One of Russia's leading military figures, General Sergei Surovkin, has reportedly lost his job as Air Force chief after weeks of speculation about his disappearance from public view. RIA Novosti agency said he had been relieved of his post, citing a source. For several months, General Surovkin was in charge of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine, but he has not been seen since the Wagner mutiny in June. Observers believe his removal dates back to the start of that rebellion. A massive pillar of smoke and fire has been seen burning outside an office in Tianjin in China after the building's wall caught fire. The Tianjin Fire Department said that 284 firefighters to the fire at Xintiandi building on Nanjing Road. There were no trapped persons or casualties reported. And a rare spotless giraffe has wowed Bright's Zoo in Tennessee. The zoo believes the reticulated giraffe calf is a one-of-a-kind specimen, since these animals are rarely born without their characteristic spot pattern. According to local media, the last known recorded spotless giraffe was born in a zoo in Japan in 1972. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel's studios in Lagos.
Thank you, Simon. Welcome to Sports News. Nigeria's Tobi Amuso has secured the spot in the final of the women's 100 meters hurdles event at the World Athletics Championship in Budapest, Hungary. The world champion triumphed in a second finals round with an impressive time of 12.56 seconds to win H2 of the semi-final. Amuso overturned at Kara Nugent's early lead to qualify for a third consecutive World Championship final. Minister of Sports, Senator John Eno, embarked on an inspection of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium in Abuja to assess the state of facilities in the edifice. The minister, with his team, visited the main bowl of the stadium, the velodrome, facility buildings, athletes hostel, federation and elite athletes department, power technical buildings, as well as other facilities in the edifice. Speaking with journalists after a tour of the facilities, Mr. Eno says his office will remain at the National Stadium for proper monitoring and coordination of events.
I mean, before the tour started, the PEMSEC and I had some discussion, about some offer to move, my office, to the Federal Secretariat. And I told him that, the first office that I was moved to, right in the stadium, immediately after I was inaugurated, and that office that I'm operating from as at now is the office I like to have as my permanent office. I mean, I don't have any business going to any Federal Secretariat. I like to operate right from the stadium. And I think, in the course of this tour, I've already indicated and directed the permanent secretary that every other department of sports, wherever it is located, needs to be relocated back to the stadium.
And to the EPL, Bernardo Silva will stay at Manchester City until at least 2026 after the Portugal midfielder signed a new contract with the Premier League and European champions. Silva had been linked with a transfer window move from the Etihad Stadium, with Spanish giant Barcelona long reported to be interested in a 29-year-old. Silva joined City in 2017 and has scored 55 goals in 308 appearances, while amassing an impressive haul of silverware alongside Pep Guardiola's other members of the team. And that's it on sports tonight. Thank you for joining us. It's back to you, Kayode.
Well, thank you, Chris. And the main news again. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, today ramped up the efforts aimed at tackling crime in the country with the inauguration of a complaints response unit in Lagos for transparency and accountability. The Minister of the FCT, Mr. Nyesom Wike, has directed the completion of the Abuja Light Rail project within 8 months. He issued a directive during an inspection of train stations in the nation's capital. And that's the news at 10 for tonight, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Kayode Egbetokun. Good night.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Kaleidoscope on Channels Television. Thank you for joining us on the program. I'm Anne Nwawadu. On Kaleidoscope today, we're set with the Managing Director and CEO of Lagos Free Zone, Dinesh Rathi, to discuss the vision and sustainability efforts of the zone. Once again, welcome to Kaleidoscope. The Lagos Free Zone, located in the Bejuleki area of Lagos, is the first